up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. It is Tuesday. It's May 13th. Is it? May 13th, 2025. This is part of the quick market update series. It's on my YouTube, Cheds Trading. I'm trying to do these live streams every Tuesday, Friday, 10 a.m. I want to give you an opportunity to reach out to me, ask me some questions and to share with you my thoughts. Of course, I'm doing that pretty much all day on Twitter, at Big Cheds, which is where you know me from. I published 4 books, which is something really cool that I'm proud of. The latest one's out now. It's the Trading Journal. It's like why you should use a trading journal, how to fill one out, trading ideas, setups, how to manage your emotions. We've got some reviews, which is great. Just had a brand new review. I'm very happy to see these reviews. Thank you, J and D. Some nice reviews so far. So since I published 4 books, I'm trying to make the first 3 free. So I'm working on the free version of Trading Quotes, which is my 3rd book. If you're looking for like really good, like how to do technical analysis, I do teach professional TA, Japanese candlestick theory and classical charting. Check out the Masterclass webinar, Masterclass tutorials. This will really get you started. It'll help you out a lot. And so I do these twice a week on Bitcoin Live. I do a full market report every Wednesday and Sunday night. I haven't skipped one of those in 6 years, even when I'm, traveling or on vacation. You hear from me and, the rest of the team and members are very happy. So consider checking that out. And of course, if you're looking for an exchange, my favorite exchange is BingX. You can find the link in the description. So folks, thank you. Glad you're here. Now that that's out of the way, just let me know how you're feeling, what you're thinking. I'm going to just riff. You know how it goes. I'm going to riff on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And then maybe we'll take some requests and you see what you guys want to talk about. Probably run 20 minutes. And we'll go from there. So Bitcoin's, what is Bitcoin doing? I mean, it's right near, it's bumping up right to all-time highs. And the title of the video was High Waves. It was interesting to see the entire market was essentially high wave candle, which is a long upper lower shadow with a small body, or more so. Spinning top can also, that can be a description for a spinning top, but high wave is also just the shadows. They're showing that you had a volatility candle, right? So we had a volatility candle here after an advance near range peak. It's very potentially a pausing candle, and I think it's a pretty good candidate for being a lower high here. This is a very good candidate for a lower high. I've been looking for one for a while. 88K, 94.5, 98.5. All these potential lower high candidates failed as the price pushed right through. As you know, 81K gave us a really nice long signal. If you had been sidelined, get long an 81K, you could have very easily also taken a long an 88.5 break. Just corresponding with the hold at the weekly SMA 50 and knowing that you're trading with the trend, which is again an uptrend now in all time frames. We're above the weekly MA 200, daily SMA, which means simple moving average. We're above the 4-hour and probably still above for now the 1 hour. So it's an uptrend in all time frames. So the high wave candle is interesting. I think you want to be buying a dip. The question is where. I think it's a pretty good case to take a look at for a first throwback right around 95, 96K, which is a little bit higher. I think this makes sense for a throwback target. With the idea that we're probably pausing here with this candle and with the candle's proximity to all-time highs and just the advance into all-time highs. And then you can kind of look for levels below and you want to mark them out. I think if there's some way the price does tag 88.5, it'll be a very appealing entry. It would spook some people out on the loss of the daily MA 200, but we probably would be well above the SMA 50 at that point. Maybe a little bit closer, but that would be a very logical level for like a really deep dip. So we shall see. I've been conservative with my analysis, and Bitcoin has been stronger than I have anticipated, even though I got long. I've been long, but even though I took a long trade from 81K, and I announced that on Twitter. For some of you folks who just kind of watch and you're trading with me, because a lot of you folks who listen to me, follow me, are just investing, and many of you are trading. So I try to tailor it for everybody. So it's been stronger than I've anticipated, but still, I think it would be logical for a pause here. Ethereum bullish. above 2150, 2100, reclaiming the high time frame pivot, even though it's in mixed territory in relation to the SMA 200, which is the trend in classical charting. It's just above it here. It's above a flat MA 200 weekly. It's below a falling. This is a confirmed downtrend on the daily, but it's very much a long trade above 2150, just given the price structure. So that's your risk to mark. I think it's got solid resistance overhead right around 2700. And given just the fact that it's had lack of strength to Bitcoin, I don't think you need to rush into it. I think there's a pretty good chance it does do a throwback to maybe at least 2,300, if not that 2,150 range. Watching Ethereum versus Bitcoin for a potential bottoming. A lot of people are calling bottom in this. I just don't know that there's enough information yet. I know a lot of people want it to be a bottom. I think when this really is a long-term bottom, or at least a medium-term bottom, it's going to mean Bitcoin's pausing. And so I don't want that because I want to see Bitcoin continue. But that's the weekly here. And the daily downtrend, I could see potentially mean reversion as high as maybe the 028, 029 range, and then a likely rollover and continue with the trend, which is a neat and orderly downtrend at this point. For me, there's just not enough information. I don't think you can call a bottom on this structure. You may have other things to add to that thesis. You may have other pieces of information you're using to draw your own conclusion. For me, I don't think you can call a bottom in that quite yet. Solana, long again from 125. I gave you guys that on Twitter. And a bounce into kind of the major level, which is 180. And you could either be taking a short at 180, you could be trimming your long trade at 180. It's very much an area of interest, given how the price has responded to that level. And I think you'd want to be on watch for a throwback to around maybe that 150, 155 range. Let's jump back into the chat. I see a nice little group here. What's up, Joey, Andre, Martwan? Nice to see you. Blockchain. So, folks, take a moment. I got 100 of you here, 110. And again, thank you for joining. I try to do these twice a week. I try to put out as much free content as possible. Take this opportunity to ask me a question, something you really want to know. I probably don't see your tweets on Twitter, your X's on X, whatever. Just this is a good opportunity for you to ask me a question. So, take advantage of that. Let's see. INJ, what levels are you looking at? I've got a short trade now on INJ. And I have the interesting debate with one of my buddies, Gooner, Nebraskan Gooner, who's looking at longs. But I just can't see long in this. This is a downtrend. And you have what's here called, it's a bounce in a downtrend. It's a bounce to the underside of lost support. Very well-defined level. I put out the tweet last night giving you folks an idea for a short setup. And your risk is really just above. I mean, the idea with this type of a short setup is if it doesn't reject here, you let go of the short, right around 14.7. I like any trade where you have price interaction with a key level. You can easily define your risk. That's what it looks like. It could continue and it could get stopped out, and I could live with that. But it just looks to me like a very nice, very easy short setup. You've already essentially met your measured move, roughly from the inverted head and shoulders. People were talking about that, but that's played out. It's already kind of done its thing. You've already essentially met your measured move. So someone asked me what levels I'm looking at. I'd say I'm looking at that level. I think it's a pretty, if it does roll over here, I'd be probably taking profit around 10.50. And for me to take a long in this chart, I really need to see it clear like 24.25. I want to see a lot more strength. Because I'm just not going to play against this falling channel quite yet. That's my thoughts on that one. Will you cancel the interviews project? No. Do you mean like the interviews on my YouTube? I have long form interviews. I have a couple lined up. I just, I'm waiting. One of them's with, most of these people. I'm just doing, I've been traveling a lot of summer. It's fishing time. I'm about to go on a fishing trip. I need to do the finished free version of quotes. I need to record the audiobook for Trading Journal. I'm just not in like a super rush, but I'll get them done eventually. I just haven't pestered these people, Martwan, and said hey, you ready for the interview? You ready for the interview? I mean, I'll let it come. I'm not in a rush. So, I mean, I do YouTube for fun. I'm telling you, Bitcoin Live is heart and soul, but I do these for fun, and I'll skip them when I'm, pressed in time. Could you check STX? Sure, I'll take a look at STX. Sticks, right? Stacks. All right. It's a downtrend, and I'm not in love with the chart. It's trying to come out of a base. If you're a bull, you're really hoping it holds right around 86 cents. You could very, very easily be just taking a short here in the up thrust. And you may wonder why I'm thinking short. And you may, Cheds, it's alt season. Cheds, if you just buy the bottom, you're going to do well. I'm disciplined to trading with the trend. This is price below a falling daily MA200. This is a downtrend. So I've so much muscle memory when I see this. I think downtrend. I'm looking for some short setup. I'm looking for a bounce in a downtrend. I'm looking for a move to fade, right? Remember, if you want to long something, you want to dip in an uptrend. If you want to short something, you want to bounce in a downtrend. So a very simple thesis here would be the up thrust of maybe $1, right? So you could very easily be taking a short here. If you're a bull, you're not worried about this minor trade. Here, you're looking for a stair step to where you're breaking out and continuing. So that means you want to see it hold right around 85, 86 cents. I generally don't like the chart, though. I don't like downtrends. I mean, that's just, I'm sorry. It's a downtrend. I don't like it. So, sorry. I'm just coming out of a little bit of an illness. CRV says, Dre, yeah, this is a nice bullish chart. It's been grinding higher. This one is stair-stepping for sure. It recaptured the MA200. It's an uptrend. It recaptured, 60 cents was the long trigger. It's bouncing now into underside of lost support. It's definitely a level for caution, given the advance into lost support. I would be targeting it for a dip. If the whole market shakes, you want to have a few plays in mind that you'd have low ball bids, or you'd have you'd react to volatility, to when everyone's panicking. You want to target what has had relative strength. This has had relative strength. I would target 60 cents. I don't know what you can do with it right here. I don't think I'd be playing throwbacks to like 65, 66, just given the proximity to this overhead from January, February. Let me bounce around the chat room. Let's see. Good morning from Canada. What's up, brother? LP. Good morning to you. What part of Canada are you in? That's a nice country. NETA and Sui. I mean, Sui looks good. Sui's been one of the stronger charts. Where'd it go? It's right there. It's right below. Yeah, Sui looks really good. It is an uptrend. You want to see it hold around 350. Sui's definitely, it's a big deal for it to reclaim 275 range. You see the 2-level filter in play where you have a descending supply trend. You may call it a downtrend, but you have a trend of falling supply, and you mark out a lower high. Use that for your long. See the 2-level trigger, the resumption of the trend, which is the MA200 back up above it. This is a nice looking chart. Let's see. Where would I be bullish in Dogecoin? Okay. I haven't really covered. I saw people talking about it. I was not that impressed. Yeah, where would I be bullish? And it looks kind of like a failed recapture here. I'd almost be bullish on it above 24, 25 cents, and it had that briefly. Now it's kind of dropping back below. So this is also a short setup. Not as strong as some of these other ones, because this is actually an unconfirmed uptrend where you have price below a rising MA200. That's what's called an unconfirmed uptrend. So let's see here. Give me just a minute, folks. I'm reading through the charts. Let's see here. Do I still think hype has room to grow? Hey, Zhao. Well, I mean, it doesn't have a ton of history is the problem. And I don't know what room to grow means. I mean, maybe that's like, I don't know if that's like a fundamental question or if that chart question. There's limited price history. There's not a lot of history in hype. It's somewhat bullish, at least this advance, but this is, where it had trouble in the past. I think like anything, if you're just trading it, it's level to level. And if you had gotten long at 17.5 break or in the throwback or even, roughly 21 break, I mean, you're happy and you know where to manage your risk. Room to grow, I don't know. That's a really hard question to answer just given the lack of history, right? I think it's still an okay chart. Just without the lack of history, I don't think you can be too confident. Martwan wants to know about PEPE, okay? Pepe. Okay. Kraken. Oopsie, I had it. I know Kraken's got history. Let's get Kraken on this one. All right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's had a nice bounce here. There's no trend. It's a flat MA200. I'm skeptical in these. I'm watching these charts. I know people like it because it's Pepe or whatever, but you've got lower high breaks. Let me go to the weekly. This is just choppy to me. I don't know. And again, I look at stuff for a good trade based on a clean level. I don't think about quote unquote fundamentals, tokenomics. I don't think about any of that nonsense. I just take what's available based on the price structure. It's got a little bit of momentum here. That's for sure. It did break out of the base. Some accumulation here on this advance. I think it's got a decent shot to punch a little bit higher for sure. I mean, and overall, the weekly's going to be an uptrend, even though there's no MA200. You can see, on the daily, you can just see on the daily, the structure, the higher highs, higher lows. So it's a little choppy for me, but I think it's got a little bit more room to go before it's a likely pause. Be my opinion on that. Blockchain Shane, what's up, man? Question with value. Cheds use market orders instead of limit orders. No. I mean, I rarely would use a market order. High volatility. I mean, I would especially rarely use a market order for any type of position size because you can slippage can really screw you over. And the whole point of trading, at least my style, is you want, for example, here with INJ and I talk about the short, is you want price interaction with a key level, right? You want the price. I don't like slippage. You can get a lot of price difference with market orders. So I really think you should try to almost never use them. And if you do, it's just for like a tiny position size, something you're really scaling into. So I would just completely try to avoid that if at all possible. If at all, possible, like 2% of your orders maybe should be market or less, like very small percentage. All right. This has been a good little stream here. We'll go a little bit longer. Sure. I'll take a look at RSR and then I'll wrap things up for you folks. RSR here. Let's see if we've got enough history. All right. All right. That's interesting to me. This is price reclaiming an MA200. A very nice base here and a throwback essentially. So I actually kind of like this. This is an interesting look to me. So I think certainly as long as the price can hold above really the 009 range. And then kind of the next level below to where I'd still look to take a long would be this higher low here. And that might even be the more value type of level. Maybe you would wait for a failure here and say, okay, it's more likely to catch the rising demand trend roughly around here, stair-stepping off 008. So I would look at both of these levels for a trade. I wouldn't buy here and hold to here. I'd buy here, have a stop loss, and then I'd try here type of situation. I'm actually kind of interested. It's a decent looking setup. The whole market essentially had high wave candles yesterday, which are volatility candles, many of them, which are volatility candles and suggestive of consolidation to come, of pausing. The context is important. These are after and advance. There's a little bit of a sideways. Ideally, you would have wanted to have it come a couple candles earlier, but these are high wave candles after and advance, and many of them outside bars like this one, and many of them representing what an upthrust or local failed breakout here where you broke up above. Here 104.5, that was your upthrust. You had it in many charts. You see here outside bar with upthrust. Not necessarily high wave, this one, nor this one, but here we have the high wave candle with upthrust. So much of the market had this type of structure. I think it would make sense for Bitcoin to pause here, to put in the lower high, and then we're on higher low watch. We're hunting to buy a dip. We want to buy a dip. It's an uptrend. We're not afraid. We're not afraid of dips in uptrends. That allows us to build our portfolio, allows us to take advantage of moves against the trend. So, I'd be looking for a dip to first initially that 95 to 97K level. Ethereum is interesting. It's got 2,700 overhead. It's got 21 to 2150 below. Technically you're in a long trade, even though it's a downtrend. You've got enough price structure in 2150 high time frame to justify using that as a long trigger, and that's done pretty well for you. So I would continue to manage your risk based on that level. Solana long from 125. Talked about that on Twitter, and a bounce into the key level we've been watching, 180. Very likely level to pause here. This is part of the quick market update series. I try to do these twice a week, Tuesday and Friday. I will skip if I'm not feeling it. But no matter what, I never skip Bitcoin Live. Every Wednesday and Sunday night, I do a full market report with the best team in the world that studies crypto. Consider checking that out. I'm, of course, Big Cheds on Twitter. I appreciate all of your comments and feedback there. If you're looking for exchange, check out Bing X. My new book is out, The Trading Journal. It's getting some nice reviews. This is a really cool book. It's kind of essentially a how-to trading book guide. And it's meant for you to fill out. There's blank pages for you to fill out. Teaches you how to fill them out. It's meant to essentially teach you how to trade. So this is a really cool project. I've got free versions of my other books on my YouTube. Check them out. And have an awesome day, folks. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to be back on Sunday. I'll be back on Friday. Tomorrow's Bitcoin Live. And then I'll try to do a stream on Friday. And we'll go from there. So let's jam it out with Church of Eight Wheels. And I hope you all have an awesome day. Let's do it. Peace out, everybody. Take care.